Adam, if you are seeing this, can you please come home to your family? They really do miss you. And if anybody knows where Adam is, please contact the Ontario County Sheriffs so this way the family can know how he is and that he's okay.
Meet Rose Chase, a 31-year-old woman. In this news clip, they talk about Rose. Her husband, Adam, who was also her high school sweetheart, had been missing for about 6 weeks when this video was made. In the beginning of the video, you can notice Rose acting strangely. She keeps looking around the room, seeking reassurance from the people around her. What's interesting is that she often refers to their family as his family instead of our family.
Can you please come home to your family?
She does it again by saying how they miss him instead of saying we miss him.
They really do miss you.
Let's talk about Rose. She's not good at telling the truth. Now let's go back to June 14th, 2012. There's a house at 2215 Mott Road in Ontario County, New York. A 31-year-old guy named Adam Chase and his wife Rose took a day off from work to fix their marriage after a big fight. That night, Adam stopped answering messages from his friends and family. The next day, his mom got worried because he still wasn't responding. Adam's mom called Rose to ask where he was. Rose said they had a fight, and Adam left the house on foot, angry and without his phone, wallet, or car. He even told Rose she'd never see him again. Rose thought Adam was just bluffing and would come back later because they have a 4-year-old son named Tristan. But Adam's mom, Sylvia, found this whole story weird. She called the police to report Adam missing. Sylvia told the police that a week before Adam disappeared, she got a picture of Rose cheating on him with another man. When Sylvia asked Rose about it, she said the guy in the picture was just a friend, a gay friend. But when Rose wouldn't admit it, Sylvia sent the picture to Adam 2 days before he went missing, on June 12th. So, on June 16th, 2012, Adam's mom filed a missing person report. The point here is that Rose is not a reliable person, and there's some suspicious stuff going on. Adam's mom had proof of Rose cheating, and Adam mysteriously disappeared right after that. It's a strange and concerning situation. 2 investigators went to Adam and Rose's house. Rose opened the door, and the officers asked her about the argument and where Adam might be. Rose told them the same story she told Adam's mom, but with a bit more detail. She said Adam had talked to her about a picture he had of her cheating with a guy named Mark. They had this conversation while sitting on a bench at a nearby park. Rose admitted to having an affair and blamed Adam for neglecting their relationship. She said Adam only played video games and watched TV, not giving her enough attention. During the argument, Adam brought up concerns about whether their son was really his biological child. Rose confidently told him that the child was not his, which made Adam angry. He punched a hole in the wall and left on foot, saying she would never see him again. The investigators found this suspicious, but thought no marriage is perfect, and continued their investigation. 2 days later, on June 18th, the investigators returned with a cadaver dog. They asked Rose if they could search the house, and she reluctantly agreed. As they walked through the messy and unorganized home, they noticed different smells in each room. The worst smell came from the basement, and the cadaver dog signaled that something might be down there. In the basement, Rose explained that the bad smell was from dead rats that often broke in, ate poison, and died. She also mentioned several bags of rotting garbage that contributed to the odor. The officers saw a massive pile of garbage and various dead and decomposing rodents. Although they didn't spend much time there, they believed Rose's explanation about the smell. They thanked her for her cooperation and left. The next day, on June 19, 2012, both Adam's mother and father received identical text messages from Adam. Sylvia got some weird messages from Adam.
Chase's sisters say there were 2 texts on June 19th, one to each of their parents.
It said, staying with a friend in Canandaigua, need time to think.
So she called him, but it went to voicemail. Both of them thought the messages were strange. Investigators found out the messages came from Canandaigua City. When the police went there, Adam wasn't there. For 5 months, they looked for him, and Adam's family kept telling the news to help find their son.
Ontario County Sheriff's deputies are asking for your help tonight, finding a missing man. They say 31-year-old Adam Chase went missing on June 14th.
Adam, if you can hear this, you have a place to come home to. Call me, email me, whichever. Just come home.
Rose used to go to news interviews and press conferences with her family, but she always seemed bored or uninterested. Around the time of a specific press conference, she announced that the man she was kissing in a photo was now her full-time boyfriend, and he had moved into the house she shared with Adam. This caught the attention of Adam's family, who already thought Rose was becoming distant and not putting effort into finding him. In November 2012, Adam's family decided to hire a family friend and private investigator named Rodney G. Miller to help with the case. Rodney's first step was to talk to Rose. In mid-November, he visited her at home and introduced himself. He asked if she had any information that could help, but Rose seemed withdrawn and only mentioned that she had already told investigators everything she knew. Rodney requested to walk through the house, and Rose agreed. As he explored, he noticed the house was quite dirty, especially in the basement. He also detected a distinct odor of decomposition. Rose told him the same story about dead rats and old garbage, and although reluctantly, Rodney believed her. On his way out, he passed the living room where Rose's boyfriend was watching TV comfortably. Before leaving, Rodney warned Rose that if Adam returned home and found another man there, it could lead to violence. Rose replied that she was done with Adam and didn't want him back, even if he returned. Rodney found this response strange but continued to his car. He felt certain that Rose was more involved in Adam's disappearance than she admitted. Rodney contacted Adam's parents and expressed his belief that this might not be a missing persons case, but possibly a homicide. Over the following weeks, Rodney devised a plan to corner Rose into admitting more than she had revealed. He located Rose's usual babysitter, Sandy, and asked for her help. Sandy agreed, and they discussed the plan. Shortly after their discussion, Rose contacted Sandy. The details of their conversation were not provided, but it raised suspicions. Rodney, determined to uncover the truth, was convinced that Rose knew more about Adam's disappearance than she was letting on. The investigation took a dark turn as Rodney began to suspect foul play. In his pursuit of the truth, Rodney became more convinced that Rose's involvement went beyond what she had disclosed. The tangled web of relationships, Rose's unusual behavior, and the living conditions in the house painted a grim picture. As Rodney delved deeper, he was prepared to unravel the mysteries surrounding Adam's disappearance, even if it meant confronting Rose with the unsettling truth. On December 12th, Rose asked Sandy if she could take her son Tristan for the night. Sandy agreed, and Rose dropped off Tristan. The next morning, on December 13th, when Rose came to pick up her son, Sandy shared some surprising news. She heard that the police had made progress in Adam's case and were planning to make an arrest in the next 48 hours. Upon hearing this, Rose became visibly shaken and pale. She abruptly said she needed to leave. After Rose left, Sandy immediately called Rodney and told him to act. Rodney rushed to Rose's home, catching her as she entered. He informed her that he had built a strong case against her, expecting murder charges in the next 48 hours. Rodney mentioned that he could help her if she revealed where she had disposed of Adam's body. He claimed to know that the body was in her house based on its smell. Rose, admitting she didn't bury the body but burned it, explained that Adam's remains had been in her basement for weeks, heavily decomposed. She loaded the remains into her car, piece by piece, and took them to her mother's property on Haggerty Road in Potter Yates County. Shocked by this revelation, Rodney promptly contacted the police, sharing the breakthrough. Police hurried to the Haggerty Road property and discovered scattered bones in a burn pit. Rose was swiftly apprehended and taken to the Ontario County Police Station for questioning. During the interview, investigators were eager to learn where Adam's body had been when they used a cadaver dog to search Rose's home.
So when we were in there the night that we came over, me and Investigator Durgan, yes. Where in the basement was he?
The part that I told you the light wouldn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I had skids along the wall,
mm-hmm.
and he was underneath all that stuff that was in that corner.
Okay. All right. How'd you get in there?
I dragged him.
By yourself?
Mm-hmm.
He's a pretty big guy. And, you know, when somebody can't move, it's hard to move.
It was very difficult.
Okay.
I will admit it was difficult.
They wanted Rose to tell them exactly what happened to Adam that led to his death.
Did he called into work? Is that when this happened?
Yes.
Okay. What happened?
Him and I called into work so this way we could work things out.
Okay.
He went back to sleep after he called up his boss.
Okay.
I tried waking him up. It took me a while, but he finally got up. He went upstairs to grab smoke. Then he started to go on the computer, and I thought we were going to talk about this. Started arguing again about the fact that Mark kissed me, and I go, yes, it was only a kiss. And he goes, well, you told me last night that we're going to get a DNA test done on Tristan. I told him then, no need, Tristan's not yours. He got furious, punched the wall.
Okay, and that was the hole that we saw, right?
I went to grab him. He did push me away. I went to grab him again, and I don't know if he tried to push me away again or if I tried to grabbed him wrong, but his foot caught the stairs and he tumbled down the stairs. I remember it was a sunny day and the light was coming in from the window right there. So I grabbed him. He went to push me away again. That's when his right foot caught the edge of the stairs and he just tumbled.
Rose's story has a big issue. If it was truly an accident, she could have just called 911 to report the fall. This would have quickly gotten Adam medical help. However, since the evidence was destroyed, it's hard to know if Rose's story is believable. Investigators had to rely on her statement to build a case against her, whether it was true or not. They asked her directly why she didn't call the police. This lack of action raised doubts about the credibility of her story, making it challenging for the investigators to determine the truth behind the incident.
If this was him falling down the stairs, why do we go through all this? I mean, what do we go through all this for? Help me figure this out, because...
At first, I thought everyone was going to think it was a murder.
Mm-hmm.
That I offed him on purpose. And then after I hid the body, and the dogs came in, I thought I got pretty lucky. I was going to turn myself in several times.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that kept shying me away from turning myself in was how his family acted.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean by that?
As in, what they were doing was, pissing me off.
Mm-hmm.
How about they were, saying that I did all this stuff without physical evidence, and it really pissed me off, and I just wanted...
So this drags on mostly because of their treatment of you after this happens?
Correct.
Is that... Okay. All right.
Rose is not just a bad liar. She's also confused and shows signs of obsessive-compulsive disorder and narcissistic personality disorder. Instead of helping her high school sweetheart, she became convinced that everyone would think she was a murderer. To control people's opinions, she took extreme measures, ignoring any concern for human life. When Adam's family saw through her lies and believed she killed their son, she reacted angrily, doing whatever she could to deny their beliefs. Investigators confirmed that Rose went to great lengths to get rid of her husband's body.
When you were taking him out of the house, did you cut him up or anything? Did you need any tools or anything? Or
No.
Because if you did, where would those be?
He just fell apart.
Okay. All right. How long had he been there?
He'd been there about 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
After talking to the police, Rose was accused of serious crimes: second-degree murder, tampering with evidence, and endangering a child. Throughout the court hearings, she insisted that Adam's death was an accident. She claimed he fell down the first set of stairs, but she did admit to pushing him down the second set into the basement. Rose argued that she believed Adam had already died from the first fall. She explained that she covered his body with a blue kiddie pool and stacked lumber and bags of garbage on top of it. When investigators searched, they found Adam's body in this position. The trial began in October 2013, and the prosecutor, R. Michael Tantillo, told the jurors that the evidence in Rose's interrogation video would show it wasn't an accident, but a crime of passion. He emphasized that Rose didn't call for medical help and took steps to cover up the death. During the defense's opening statement, Rose's lawyer, Leanne Lapp, asked the jurors to keep an open mind. She argued that Adam's death was an accident, and Rose made a mistake by not seeking help. Lapp said it wasn't just about Adam, but also about a family and a marriage, suggesting a bigger picture. The trial lasted 2 weeks, but the jury only needed 4 hours to reach a verdict.
The jury actually deliberated a total of only just about 4 hours, or a little bit more than 4 hours. So that suggests to us that they felt the case was pretty strong and probably moved toward a verdict, the verdict that they returned pretty quickly.
Without Rodney, we wouldn't be here today.
Why do you think that?
Because he's the one who found him. He never gave up.
I'm happy she was convicted. We worried when some of the testimony was replayed. It always puts that lump in your throat that you wonder what they want to look at or what they want to consider. But in my heart, I knew God was going to take care of me. He helped me find him. I knew he would take care of me. The jury did a good job. And Mike Tantillo, for what he was given, you couldn't ask for a better DA as far as I'm concerned.
Obviously, the work of Rodney Miller was fantastic, and I think Sylvia's right. This case may not have been solved without his doggedness. A lot of that is also due to the Chase family, because they are the people that kept the pressure up on Rose Chase, and I think set up her state of mind when she actually gave this all up in December. And I don't think that would have happened without the Chase family keeping the pressure on the way that they...
After the decision was made, Rose had a chance to talk. She said, "I could say sorry for what happened, but my friends know I'm not a bad person." Rose Chase got a sentence of 24 years to life, plus an extra 1.5 years for putting a child in danger. But in February 2018, they said there wasn't enough proof for the child endangerment charge, so it was canceled.
Rose Chase, the Ontario County woman convicted of killing, dismembering, and burning her husband's body in 2012, had a misdemeanor conviction reversed last week. Court documents say Chase was not guilty of endangering the welfare of a child. That charge had stemmed from her then 4-year-old child riding in the car with her as she transported remains of her late husband from Ontario County to Yates County. Her convictions of second-degree murder and tampering with evidence both stand, and she's currently serving a sentence of 24 years to life.
Right now, Rose Chase is in a prison called Bedford Hills Correctional Facility. It's a high-security prison for women in Westchester County. What are your thoughts about this case? Let us know in the comments below, and if you liked this story, make sure you're subscribed.